Well, what I wanted to do was show how criminals have to hang around, get bored, do all the things that everyone else does in their general day-to-day lives, but also they are involved in dodgy dealings and high stakes. And also, contextually, North London, this type of thing is going on all the time. It's very easy, actually, to get involved in casual violence. A lot of people, sadly, have gone down that route. And maybe I was just trying to show the reality of that situation as opposed to, maybe the usual glamour of that type of action film. Quite a few of the characters were based on people that I've known in the past, and I really wanted to, as I say, get to show something that was realistic. The way the film was shot was kind of almost documentary style. We shot on 16mm film, and it's kind of mostly handheld. And I think that the performances by the actors really gave it a sense of reality. I think they'd really draw you in, and that was what was gave me the passion to get the film made.
And what's nice about the film is what I've found as well. It's shot not in the East End, which we've become so familiar with these days with independent film, British film. You chose to shoot it in North London. So what made that landscape a little bit different for you to want to make it there?
Yeah, I think the whole project was one of trying to avoid the cliche of the gangster film, and so that was an overriding, element. But also I think that we all know that this kind of thing is going on our doorsteps, and the thing about London is that everyone is, probably only 100 yards away from something dodgy, and that's going on in North London as equally as it is in the East End.
Barry came to me with an idea and a script, and I read it and I thought it was amazing and just very original. But I knew that if we went on a conventional route, it would probably take 5 years to fund, and I didn't want to do that. So we got together four financiers, including ourselves. So we did 25% each, and made it for absolutely very, very little money. And so that was really how we approached it. So, yeah.
And it's been shot on 16mm as well, so a certain investment has gone into it with the quality of film that it's been shot on.
Absolutely. Well, Barry felt that it was important to do that, and so did his DOP. So I pulled in a few favours, twisted a few arms. We managed to get Fuji to give us the stock almost for nothing, and the processing and everything. I mean, there's obviously a cost, but it was pretty much blagged, which was amazing. But it does give it a particular look, and it does give it a quality, and I think it invested the whole thing with a quality that was quite interesting. Yeah.
And with regards to the independent filmmaking, it's all about everybody working together as a team, isn't it? It's a real collaborative effort. So can you share with us kind of some of the things that you have to do as a producer at making films on a low budget level to help sort of cut costs, really?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is that our house was the production base. So the kitchen was the production office. The living room had all the equipment in it. My office had the lighting, and my kids were just kind of shoved upstairs. And we were just, we were living and working out of the house for, I think it was 21 days we were shooting. And then we satellited off from that. We couldn't pay location fees for anything, so I spoke to my friends. As I said, the cast, we said, would you like to be in the film? Can we shoot in your house? It was all of that. And the combination of all of that meant that we could pull it off. And a very small crew, probably between sort of 6 and 10 people. We
shot as minimalist as possible.
Absolutely,
really.
Which is what Barry wanted to do as well. So and a few favours.
I came in after they shot a first chunk of the movie. A different DOP did it. Her name is Vanessa White, and I took her place at some point. They chose, though, to shoot Super 16 because they needed the grittier format, the grain, and that type of, sort of a realistic look that only film and Super 16 really conveys. They also chose a brand new film type emulsion that got actually out at the time. Unfortunately, Fujifilm is now closing, but at the time it just came out with this new emulsion that was very bright in colors. They wanted to go sort of a counterweight to what would be how can I say, logical, because a film like this would be more sort of saturated, but they wanted to make it more colorful nonetheless, so they chose that stock. And Fujifilm helped us out a lot.
And how does it, there's a lot of scenes shot outside, so you're working with a budget, on a big budget film, no doubt you've got plenty of like big airy lights that can help.
Well, no, really, it was almost all natural light. We actually used, whatever light was available right in locations that we were shooting in, and we added a little bit, but just very few times, and tried to keep it as real as possible.
And talking as real as possible, they said they shot it on handheld.
Yes,
what was the beauty of using it that way rather than on tripods and dollies?
Well, handheld, when done well, it's very organic. It's very, it makes you feel within the action, within the setting, and Barry had very specific ideas which I had the pleasure to realize, which were to try and shoot continuous takes that he then edited together. So we cut them out and sort of stitched them together later on in post-production. But whilst we were shooting, he would shoot most scenes continuously. So it was always very, very hard for DOP to get away with it, because it had to be perfect. And at the same time, we were using most of natural light. So it was, double difficulty. But at the end of the day, we pulled it off, and we're very happy.
Well, sales agent is selling the film. So, I mean, after the hard work of the producers and the director, the scriptwriter and everything, after all this machine is put together and successfully complete this enormous task of putting it together in a film, is the time of the sales agent to step in and say, okay, now we put it in the theaters, we put it in the rest of the world, and we market it. So my role, after watching Latvia, which I think is a fantastic film, I loved it from the first minute, is just to convince the distributors worldwide to consider the film for a possible theatrical distribution where it's possible. Where certain markets do not accept this type of film, so we can look at alternative solutions like video, VOD, televisions, and different rights. So the sales agent has to prepare a strategy how to market, not to the consumers, but to the industry, how to make that film going around, and then that's my job.
And for somebody who's setting out and making a film like Barry was here for the first time, do you have to think about distribution before you've actually even started to make the film? Do you have to think about it as being a marketable product?
It seems to be a very, let's say, a lot of people are thinking about that ahead of time. The more you plan, the better it is. For example, people raising finance for a film is very good to already put into that budget not only the money you need to make the film, but also the budget that you will require to go, to promote it. Going to festivals, doing premieres, doing certain things costs money. You fly out directors. Now, sales agents used to take care of those things. They still do, the ones that have the financial structure and the capabilities. But for independent films with smaller budgets, it's good to raise a little bit more and keep it aside so that once the film is completed, you can have some liquidity in order to, make it go and help all the future partners that will come on board, like the sales agents and the distributors, to do something. And it's also interesting to work on product placement, for example. A lot of films today use, transformer, cars,
Coca-Cola cans.
Yeah, whatever. Sounds cheap, but hey, makes the film happen. Many films are not even completed. They can never see the light.